Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Coding on Swiboe, the next generation text editor. Our stream yesterday ended rather abruptly because crates.io was down, and without crates.io, you cannot download your packages that you need, and it turns out you cannot build your source code. That was rather inconvenient, and so we ended the stream very early. So let's see if we have better luck today. And other than that, I have no top of the show business. Oh wow, we have another Asta failing. That is also not great. What does that mean though? SAT ident with empty context. So it could be that this is already fixed in Asta. It could also be that I need to update to the latest nightly and it's not working because of that. It could also be that something else is foobarred, so let's check out on master real quick. Nope, same thing. So let's do the right thing and delete all the log files. And then we try again. And if that is not working, then we actually have to update to the latest nightly and hope that this is fixed. If this is not fixed, then we have to figure out which nightly is building still. Okay, so this built. So let's see if our other branch is building too. Looks like it's working. That's great. If that is working, then we should be all set and we can continue some work. Wonderful, wonderful. So, let's see about our C client. If I build this, is that working too? It should, right? There is nothing special about the C client library. It should just work. Perfect. Now let's see if we run test. Okay, there we are. All of our tests pass. Everything is fine. And we're good to go. And what are we playing today? We were starting to add results type to everything in our library. Basically, everything that can fail returns a results type, and that results type encodes if the failure is expected, or so if it is a failure and what kind of failure it is, basically. And we already added that to our connect function. We added it to our disconnect function, to our new RPC function. And now the question is, those are the functions that actually return, like create RPC return values. And I wonder actually if that is fine that they are returning directly the pointer, or if they also should return a result object. And if they return a result object, how the interface should look. So there are a couple of things that can be argued here. The first one is, for symmetry, they should return a results object so that every method that we have in our library returns a result object. You could also argue that the only way those construction methods can fail is if they get wrong input, and wrong input should always crash because that is like the fastest way of finding bugs. Oh, and I remember we actually had this discussion before when we introduced this error type, right? The error type invalid UTF-8, because we are crashing if there is invalid JSON passed to our functions, but we are not crashing right now if there's invalid UTF-8. And that seems weird, right? That actually to reconsider this. Should we not crash on bad UTF-8 input? And I think we should probably. And if we make this argument, then we could say, well, then those functions can never actually return an error. They can only crash. And therefore, it doesn't make a lot of sense to actually return a result value. I'm really torn here, because it could also be that in the future, when we extend the API, there might be useful error messages that we can return. I'm not sure. How do they actually look for now? Swiboe, RPC, okay. So we crash on invalid JSON. And that's the only thing that can go wrong here. And what about here? Same thing. And this can never actually fail. Well, I think then that's probably fine. We just leave them as is. And then what else do we have? We have a Swiboe like this call RPC. This definitely has to change, right? Basically, what we want is we take, where's the other call function? It's down there. So we take a pointer to a client, then the name and the arguments for that function, and then we return a pointer to a pointer client context, right? And this then returns a result. Okay, starting out here, basically what we now have is we have a client context, and the client context actually looks like this, right? We say, excuse me, that's the client context, and please make one, a pointer to a client context, like so. And then we call this function, and here we do something like by ref also. Yes, ctypes by ref of the client context. So this is how the function now is going to be called, and we expect self. Okay, this is what we're expecting, right? So is that correct? Self okay actually takes the result, which is right, and this result checks that it's okay. Yes, 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 that looks right. So now we have to change this everywhere. So like, let's copy this. And ctypes by ref client context. That seems all right. That seems all right. That seems all right, and I think that's all of the call sites, right? Why are you unhappy? Undefined variable client context. Correct. Okay. 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 So we changed it in the Python code, all fine. But now, of course, we also have to change it here. So this function changes to actually taking a const pointer to a mutable client, RPC client context. Oh, actually, that's not true because it takes a mutable pointer to a mutable client context and it returns a how's that called? Something with result, something result. C library result. How did I call that? C API result. Wonderful. And why is it unhappy about that? Oh, of course, because I deleted the name. Okay. Okay. And now we say we actually what do we actually do? We call and call returns what? That is wrong. That is just no longer correct, right? It actually has to return. How does it though? It crashes on a UTF-8 error, which is fine, but this is wrong. Here, this should actually bubble up this error. Yeah, I think that should bubble up. So this is returning a result, I guess, but probably a Swiboe result of this variable, like so. And then we can actually change this to a try if we really want to. And this here is also try. And we actually do error handling now. And this down here is then a OK. Actually, we could do it also like this, right? That works too. Now we have to see who's actually so this is actually calling this, but for now this will unwrap because we didn't change that yet. And we can add the error handling in here. And down here we can say this will now how there was some macro to try here, try C API that will convert our error into a valuable thingy for the C API. So we do this, and this actually returns us a something that we can assign to the client, and once that is done, we can actually return success. So this should work. Cargo built. Identify a client is bound more than once in this parameter list. Oh, right. That is the client context. And down here the same, right? This is actually the client context. Dereference of raw pointer requires unsafe function. You know what? That is fair. But how can we make that look smooth? I guess we can't really, right? So we just make it like that. And it built, and does it run? And of course it runs too. The interesting question is now, can we actually test that it bubbles up an error? What sort of error would actually bubble up here? Let's think about that for a second. What can actually go wrong in the call function? what could be going wrong in the call function? So that's in client, RPC client. And here we have a context, and that context can, this could happen. It seems actually nothing here can go wrong. Yeah, well, okay. Then we cannot really change that. Okay, let's do one more method, and that is the other call function down here, which is the server context call, and that we change very similarly. So basically that will also take here a pointer to a client context, and it will return a result. And then we have to change this function, of course. To actually have, like, we construct the client context beforehand as an empty pointer, and here we would like to make sure that this is actually working. And here we do a ctypes by ref client context. And I think that's probably the only call side. Yes, it is. Okay, so the Python code seems fine. What about the library though? Yeah, that is also simple to change, right? We change this guy to actually go in as an output parameter into our library. So we have a mutable client context pointer, and we return a API result. And now the whole thing will look very, very similarly. Like so, basically. Bloop. And down here we just have success. Unresolved name client, it says in 187, and that is perfectly reasonable because it is not the client. We actually need to call on the context. And we build again, and we test again, and hopefully everything will still work. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, I think there's more to be done, but maybe I'll cut the stream here. Let's see. So this is okay, this is okay, this is okay. Is it okay? Yes, that's okay, that's okay. This is done. Then we have wait. And wait is another of those candidates. Oh, let's do wait, right? How long are we now? We're 20 minutes in. Let's do wait and then call it day. So wait will change to, and also like, let's commit. Call functions return C API result. Nice. Okay, so the wait function is probably called a couple of times here. Yes. Okay. That will also change. So first we need the call result is actually now constructed before, and that is a self. Whoa, what is that actually? Pointer to RPC result, right? So it is a Swiboe pointer to RPC result. We constructed beforehand, and then here we actually would like to have something like OK. And here we make a ctypes by ref call result. that's how it should look like now, right? So we can copy this again. I think we can even copy this because it will basically always look the same. Right? We just have a client context and we wait for the result to that client context. So this and this. This and this. And this and this. This and this. And I think that's it. Yes. Okay. The client context weight changes very similarly. We have a mutable to a const, which I think is fine, right? That's our RPC result object, and we return a C API result. And I think that is probably rather straightforward, right? We can just say, here we remove this, we remove the unwrap, and instead we say, well, do a try CPI macro call here, which will convert any error into a return value and return it. And then we transmute the box and we assign that to RPC result here, and we return success. And what does the compiler say? Does it agree? Well, at least it is not complaining. Oh no! Oh no, it died. Where did it die? We asset equal in OK, and that is actually what? That's in line 156. So what's wrong here? What are we actually doing here? Let's make that a little bigger. 156. So we create the client context, we create the we call a function, and then we wait for the RPC result, which we are doing here, and it is complaining that the return value is none instead of 0. So what is wrong? What did I mess up? Oh, I didn't change this here. Yes. I didn't change the function definition in Python land, so Python doesn't really know that things have changed. This is now taking a pointer to an RPC result, and instead it returns a result object. And that should be it. Yes, that's it. Wonderful. Wonderful. What did we change? Oh, Swiboe client context weight now returns a C API result. Okay, perfect. So what remains to be done? There is the finish call. This must definitely return an error. This here already returns a result. We already have that. And about those, I'm not sure if they should actually return. So this definitely has to, but it already does, so that is fine. This receive call definitely has to. unwrap should just crash, right? So that should maybe not return an error. Yeah, I think two more functions and we're done with that, and we can do that tomorrow. Okay, so I'll stick around on stream for another 2 minutes or so. If there are any questions, please post them now in the stream chat. Otherwise, I will also stick around in the stream chat for a while longer after the stream is done. Let's actually get this one pushed. And while we wait, I would like to investigate. I got a message yesterday that my C library continuous integration branch failed on Travis, and I didn't look at it because I think it is just because Crates.io was down. But let's make sure that this is the problem. So this is what crashed yesterday. No, that's not what I want. No. Here. I want you to look at this one. And here we merged master yesterday, and then I pushed and it failed very quickly, and it failed. Yes, it failed because it couldn't connect to Crates.io. Okay. Ooh, wow, that is beautiful. Travis just keeps getting better and better. Look how beautiful that UI is. Wonderful. Wonderful. Oh no. Interesting, another Asta build error. I guess it's Asta at least. Oh well. Oh well, we'll look into that another day. Okay, thanks for watching. And oh yeah, as a reminder, tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, so Thursday, there is no stream. I'll stream next time on Friday. And next week I will stream on Monday and on Friday, but not the rest of the week. And that is because I'm traveling. I will be traveling actually the next 3 weeks, always for a couple of days, all over Europe. But when I'm home, I try to stream. Okay. Thank you very much, and I talk to you on Friday. No, yes, on Friday. Bye.